Whether you're working with resin, you're doing cosplay stuff, soaps, candle making, it doesn't matter. Silicone is a catalyst to do even more custom, cool, and unique projects. Look, a lot of the scariness that it comes with starting with silicones really boils down to one key aspect of the process, and that's creating a really good mold box. But here's the thing, it can be intimidating at first. Now, what container should you use? How big should it be? How much extra space? The depth? What materials are gonna inhibit or not inhibit? What size should it be? Man, it can feel so confusing sometimes, but don't worry. I'm gonna show you 5 ways that you can make a mold box today with just stuff you have laying around the house. Before I jump in and start telling you all the 5 ways that I like to make mold boxes with things around the house, do me a favor, like and subscribe this video if you find it helpful or you want to see more videos like this. Before we jump into the 5 different ways that you can do this with household stuff, I want to make sure that you're aware of the 3 tools I'll probably be using along the way to help make sure we've got a good mold box. That's number 1, just a regular old hot glue gun. I'm gonna use one that you can find around the house, but sometimes because, you know, we have an industrial shop here, I use an industrial hot glue gun, so don't be intimidated if you see that. The second is cyanoacrylate glue. Cyanoacrylate. CA glue, crazy glue, you get it. It allows you to put the walls up, fix things in a certain position very easily, and then lock it in so you can come back and lay hot glue down later. Really valuable tool, get yourself some. And if you're impatient, get some accelerator, it's worthwhile. And the final 3rd tool is just some waterproof tape of some kind. Tuck tape, sheathing tape, there's a lot out there. It's just helpful when you need something to stay in a certain position, or maybe you're wrapping the inside of something for some reason. It's good to have on hand. All right, let's start out with option number 1, which, hold on to your horses, folks. It is literally just a paper cup. Now, it might seem like this is, I don't know, useless most of the time unless you're having some hot coffee in the morning. So truth be told, this is what I do probably 50% of the time when I'm making a mold. Hot glue it to the bottom. I'll put my part down in there, make sure I kind of cut off any extra cup that I don't need so I know exactly where I need to fill to, and then mix up my silicone and go. Plus, when you're demolding with a paper cup, all you have to do is rip it off and then you're suddenly out of the mold box. It's not a huge, heavy unscrewing melamine or anything like that process. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, paper cup, number 1. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, look, Jordan, I don't have paper cups around my house. I have something different. I have plastic cups around my house. Well, hey, guess what? Plastic cups work too. No big deal. They're a little bit harder to cut and you're gonna have to be careful here. You don't wanna cut yourself with scissors, but those work great too. So for me, if I have a resin pour that I've done before, I've got that extra epoxy in the bottom and I kind of crack it out and I throw it away, and I have this cup that maybe I don't want to reuse because it's a little contaminated, right there, that's a perfect mold box. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is actually a paper towel tube. Every time you finish a roll of paper towel, you've given yourself the gift of an amazing mold box. This works perfectly for smaller objects that are maybe cylindrical or spherical. You can actually just put this on top of it and just 1 bead of hot glue at the base does the trick. Pour your silicone into it. The other bonus is, I don't think oftentimes you're gonna do a very large crystal or something that takes up this entire shape. So what you can do is actually set your part on top of this paper towel tube, mark a line, cut it off, and then you still have extra mold boxes. It's like, this is basically a mold box dispenser if you think about it. Just like our paper cup, you can score and tear away the paper towel tube, making demolding your piece super easy. All right, so that's number 2, the paper towel tube. Now number 3 is what's called foam core. Something all that. You and I aren't on speaking terms anymore, brother. I need you to know that. So before I was so rudely interrupted, number 3 is foam core. Foam core is really a professional staple when it comes to mold making. It has the rigidity that you need to hold back the silicone, is easy to work with, cut with an X-Acto knife, and hot glues super well. Honestly, any professional mold making shop, you might see some other methods used here, but if you get good at using foam core, you're golden. Foam core is relatively cheap, and a lot of you crafters who are already at home probably have some of this stuff. Maybe even from a kid's, you know, one of those fold-out displays that you do for a science project. That stuff works perfectly. If you've hot glued things well, then pouring the silicone is the easy and fun part. And after everything is cured, the foam core walls come apart super easily. So that's foam core. The next one we're gonna do is actually Lego. Don't throw them. Legos are a really cool option because you get to build the exact mold box size that you need. It's really beneficial sometimes, actually. I did it for a custom keycap video not too long ago. If you haven't seen that video, you should go check that one out. We'll put a link up there in the top corner so that you can see that. But it's a great way to build a custom length or shape just like you would with foam core, but being able to reuse it again and again and again. One of the tricks with Legos, though, to keep in mind is it's kind of worth taping the inside. There are little gaps between the bricks, so doing a real quick inside tape makes sure that none of the silicone leaks out. So that's Legos. That was our fourth method. Our fifth and final method is actually, sorry, let me take this from you. Foil tape. You know, like HVAC tape, heating and cooling tape. This stuff right here, believe it or not. Foil tape like this works really well for smaller, shallower mold boxes that you'd need. I did this on a small cactus that I didn't need a lot of work for. That would have been so annoying to try to get a little foam core model or go and get the Legos. This tape, you can just wrap it around, fold it underneath maybe a base of simple foam core, and it's gonna hold well. The only thing with this is you don't wanna build it up in layers and try to suddenly have it hold a larger pour. This is really for shallower pours. Think bookmarks or little trinkets like that. Really good option. Just like the other materials, the foil tape pulls away from the silicone no problem, and often leaves your base and the master unscathed and easy to reuse. And there you go. Those are my around 5. You can see them all, right? You get it. I can't hold up the Lego, so just forgive me. But those are my 5 around the house ways that you can make a mold box very easily and get your project going. Maybe even your first project with silicone. Don't overcomplicate it. It's a lot easier than you think. Trust me, I'll help you along the way. If you have another method of making a mold box that you think is even better than these, I want to know. Let me know in the comments below, or if you just have questions about this process. I'll be around to help out. No questions asked. I'll see you next time.